How's it going, guys, and welcome back. Today we have a very special video. The South Korean game development team Mantisco have joined up with GG Content to sponsor this video, where we're going to be taking an exclusive look at their upcoming game called Hunter's Arena, of which you'll be able to play the alpha sometime later this year in 2019. Very quick before we jump into it, you can check out Hunter's Arena on Steam by clicking on the link down in the description. As the channel has been growing at a pretty fast rate recently, we've been having quite a few offers from different development teams to promote their games. However, most if not all of them was games I wouldn't personally buy into, therefore I obviously wasn't going to promote them on this channel, as I'm very strong on credibility and reputation as everything when trying to grow a channel. However, I could not pass this one up. I checked out the game and it looks absolutely amazing. So let's start off talking about why I'm so hyped for this game and what it's all about. Hunter's Arena combines two massive, already popular genres into one. They're combining MMORPGs with Battle Royale game mechanics, which quite honestly has never really been seen in the industry before. Maybe there's one or two smaller projects out there, but none done on large scale that have become the titans of the industry, such as some of them have in the FPS scene. And I believe there's definitely going to be a place for this game in the Battle Royale community. So let's talk about some of the more detailed aspects of the game. We know it's an MMORPG Battle Royale, which essentially means we're going to be farming and grinding to level up our characters as we usually would in an MMO. However, instead of being one prolonged character forever, we're going to have individual games as we would in a Battle Royale game, which currently consist of 51 players, which by release they're hoping to increase to 60 players per game, which are going to be placed into a decent sized arena of 2 square kilometers as it currently stands, and take part in approximately 30-minute matches to see who the last team standing is. Currently, the main game mode is going to base around teams of 3 players in each squad. However, solo mode is also going to be an option if you prefer to play by yourself. And though 2 square kilometers isn't the biggest map in a Battle Royale game, the fact that this is going to be close quarter combat, almost melee range most of the time instead of long range as it is in an FPS mode, this means the map is definitely going to feel and be experienced in a bigger scale than it would be on a shooter game where you're shooting long ranges across the map. The game also includes a day and night cycle. During the nighttime, the monsters are even going to become more aggressive, so you have to plan accordingly. Also, there's going to be a wide range of different terrains and environments to move through, such as lava fields, snowy areas, forests, deserts, etc, etc. We've also been given some footage of some different areas we can see in the game, like the blue goblin hideout we can see here, which looks like some ruins in the middle of the desert. The old mines, by just looking at this short footage we can see here of this area, I'm already imagining all the different strategies and combat ideas we could use in this place, as the terrain, environments, and details on each area of the map I feel are going to be so much more important, because as we said before, this is going to be close quarter combat, so we're going to be really fighting amongst all of this environment, and we're going to really need to know our surroundings well. So I definitely feel in this game, everyone's going to have more so their favorite areas to fight in and the places they normally hide out until inevitably, as usual in Battle Royale games, we are forced to move in to the progressively smaller and smaller safe zone on the map. The last area of the map I want to talk about is this place here called the Tower of Screams. Of the places we've seen so far, this looks like my favorite one visually speaking. It looks absolutely stunning. There seems to be 5 stories we can seemingly climb up, as if we look closely we can see some sort of a zipline with an arrow above it, meaning that most likely ziplines will be a mechanic in this game, which is going to be a cool way to play with verticality. We should also speak a bit on means of transportation in this game. Other than obviously walking, we can also use horses to rapidly move around the different terrains. From what we know so far, there's going to be 2 main methods of obtaining horses. The first one is going to be purchasing them from the shop in the small villages, which, just thinking about that, seems really cool, having in-game shops in the villages while the Battle Royale is going on. And also we will be able to tame the horses ourselves from the wild. Though we don't really have much information on the looting system yet, as if we defeat another player, I assume you'd probably be able to loot the items they have bought, maybe including the saddles, and being able to summon their horses if they already had one bought or captured. But we'll have to maybe wait a little bit before we can find out the small details on things like these. The next main thing everyone's probably wondering right now is what's the combat style like in this game? Well, from what we can see, it's going to be a combo chain style gameplay. And as it stands at the moment, there's no mana or MP bar gauges. All of the skills only really consume stamina and obviously have their own cooldown rates, but mana is not really a factor. However, they have mentioned the idea of when it comes to balancing, they may add in some other sort of resource for certain moves. There was also a game mode called Tag Match, which is more of a versus classical PvP fighter style, which is a great way to practice and really get the feel for each of the characters' playstyle. Speaking of characters, they've announced that by the time of the release of the game, there should be 10 playable characters you can choose from. then after 3 months they plan on making 2 new characters every month and then progressively slow it down to only 1 character each month, which is still pretty cool to see that they are already planning on adding in new content after the game's release. Also, I feel obligated now that we've mentioned post-release content. As you'd probably expect on a game like this, there is going to be an in-game shop where we can buy extra stuff like skins for the characters. However, they have already announced that if you play enough, you will be able to unlock all of the skins without actually having to pay any money if you wish to. Okay, let's get back to the characters. So far I've seen gameplay and images of quite a few different characters. However, the only 4 we have real information on are going to be Tara, which we can see here, whose description says she's an emotionless human mage that uses 3 attributes: water, fire, and ice. Next up we have Taugi, who is the scythe user, who is said to be the merciless goddess of death, as well as being the leader of the Hunter's Arena squad. This character we can see here on screen is called Mir, and he's described as the black dragon of the battlefield, who has a lot of AoE and charging skills. And the 4th and final character we have any real info on here is Aiden, whom is said to be a fortune teller that uses his shield to protect his allies and dash into the battle. As far as graphics are concerned, we can expect to see a pretty nice looking game, as they will be using Unreal Engine 4, which is of course very well known for its visually pleasing looking games. So of course the most distinctive thing that we have not yet talked about this game that really puts it apart from other Battle Royale games is going to be the whole farming and grinding against the monsters scattered across the map. It is said that by the time of release there will be 10,000 monsters and at least 20 different type of boss enemies. And they've been pretty detailed about this, that it's going to be 4 different type of monsters we can find. There's going to be the normal, regular, run-of-the-mill monsters we can find around, then there's going to be the chief monsters, then there's going to be, of course, the boss enemies. And then apart from these boss monsters, we also have another 4th type called the world bosses. These are going to be monsters that are always going to spawn at the same time frames, however their location is going to vary as well as the direction they move in. And I would imagine that taking down these world monsters is going to have a huge impact on your probabilities and chances of winning the game. The final thing I want to quickly mention here at the end is there's also going to be a pretty good matchmaking system, with elo rankings being divided into seasons and being rewarded at the end of each season depending on what rank you end up in, which is always nice to add a little bit of competitiveness to these sort of games. So we've covered all of the main focus points of Hunter's Arena Legends. Remember that you can check it out on Steam by clicking on the link down below in the description. And again, thank you to Mantisco and GG Content for sponsoring this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this project, or if you have any questions that weren't covered in this video, and I'll see if I can answer them. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget that thumbs up button, subscribe for more content coming very soon, and we'll see you next time.